Good afternoon everyone, welcome to the Grosvenor Casino here in Newcastle. It's great to be here, ahead of our first show for some time here in the North East, and so excited about Saturday night, live and exclusive on Sky Sports from 8 PM. We've got a packed top table here tonight, as always. I think we should give everybody a welcome. Starting down the end, a young man who we're delighted to see debut on Saturday night. He's had a great amateur career, very exciting young fighter. I think you're going to see plenty of him in the North East. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Saunders. On the far end, actually, obviously we had the news a couple of weeks ago about Bradley Saunders fracturing his hand, had to undergo immediate surgery, and obviously bad news for boxing here. He'll be back in the summer, but good news for these two young men, and particularly Jamie Wilson. Obviously Anthony Nelson already on the bill, but these two are in a cracking fight for the Commonwealth Super Flyweight title, both unbeaten. And firstly, I'd like you to welcome Jamie Wilson. His opponent, who has sold a huge amount of tickets for this show, again, a wonderful opportunity to fight for a major title live on TV. I'm really looking forward to watching him box, heard plenty about him, and that's Anthony Nelson. Of course, we've seen him involved in some huge fights on Channel 5, and also a winning prize fighter. Great to see him back in action after surgery. Travis Dickinson. A wonderful fight to kick off our live TV broadcast. It's a fight in a cruiserweight division which is really bubbling at the moment, wide open, and these two can certainly take advantage of that. Firstly, the champion defending his WBC international title, Stephen Simmons. And the challenger, someone obviously, again, the tickets these boys have shifted have been unbelievable. Got a huge opportunity on Saturday night in front of his home fans in a very, very tough fight, and that's the challenger and Travis's brother, John Lewis Dickinson. A gentleman to my left who, you know, I'm not over the moon about seeing in the ring with Anthony Joshua because I quite like him. Lovely guy. His 50th fight this Saturday. We saw him reach the final, a prize fighter. Been in with really a who's who of the heavyweight division. Deontay Wilder, Amin Mansour, recently just went the distance with the top US heavyweight Gerald Washington, and delighted to welcome back from overseas the Woo Man, Jason Gavern. And of course right now one of the biggest stars of British boxing. You would have seen an hour-long documentary on him on ITV last night. Delighted to have him back in the ring. It's been a frustrating 5 months for him, coming back from a stress fracture in his back. He's trained very, very hard. Wanted to keep quite a low profile about his inclusion in this show before a couple of weeks ago because he didn't want to let anyone down, but the North East are in for a real treat because the Olympic super heavyweight champion, MBE, Anthony Joshua, is in the building on Saturday night. Jeff, I'll start with you. Obviously, you know, carrying the Saunders name forward on Saturday night. Was due to debut a little bit earlier in the year, but now you know the quality of Anthony Joshua. But he was up for this fight, and you know you accepted it quite quickly, and I know it's one you're looking forward to on Saturday night.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like you said, this is my 50th pro fight. This isn't obviously my first rodeo. We've been here 49 other times, and again, on short notice, it isn't my first time. I took this fight on you know, a week's notice. I'm ready. It's just boxing's about opportunity, and I'm looking forward to this fight. And yeah, it should be a fun time. I just saw something on Facebook before about odds of me getting knocked out within 15 seconds, or 20 seconds, or 30 seconds. It's kind of funny, but I mean, it's the heavyweight division. Anthony Joshua is here for a reason. He's a gold medalist for a reason, and a lot of respect for him. And it's going to be a lot of fun for the fans.
Obviously, you know the names we mentioned earlier, and most recently Deontay Wilder, the last fight he had before fighting for the world heavyweight title. You spent some time with Anthony, and obviously you know it's going to be a tough challenge, but the experience, of course, of going into your 50th fight, and Anthony just in his 11th, you believe will play a key?
Yeah, I mean, at this point it's about, taking a fight on a week's notice, flying halfway across the world, you know, time change and all that, but it's about the experience. I mean, Anthony's ready to go. I'm ready to go. I think the experience is definitely going to be key, and I'm going to let that show on Saturday night in the fight.
Anthony, obviously been a frustrating period for you. I know how hard you've worked to try and make this date, April the 4th in Newcastle, and very excited about returning to the ring.
Yeah, I didn't want to mention I'll be fighting too soon due to the injury, but luckily we have been working with some good people, nutritionists, rehabilitation people that's got me in good stead. And there's no sparring or no training you can really do to prepare for Gavin. 50 fights, so much experience, very awkward when I watch his videos, he's so awkward to hit. And he's very entertaining as well, can get in your head mentally. And it's going to be really entertaining Saturday night. I've been up for 5 months, so I'll probably have a bit of ring rust myself, he'll be sharp. So should be some heavyweight blows trading and may the best man win.
Obviously talks of May the 30th against Kevin Johnson, but you know, first things first, Jason Gavern on Saturday night.
Yeah, most definitely. Not looking past Jason Gavern at all. I think Wilder fought him just before he fought for the WBC strap, which is that's amazing. That's amazing for Gavin to put down on his record as well. 11 fights. I know he's probably looking at me like I'm a raw novice in the pro world. He's at 50 fights. He's looking at himself like he's got so much experience. But hunger and determination is what's got me through it all the time. And 10 fights in now, double figures. I can definitely say I'm learning, and just everything comes second nature on Saturday.
You've obviously been fighting so frequently in the past, every couple of weeks or every month.
Yeah.
Do you feel you'll be rusty from the layoff? Obviously, getting back into the arena, I'm sure you'll get a fantastic reception from the North East on Saturday night. A little bit of nerves going on because of, obviously, you've never spent 5 months out of the ring in your pro life, probably not 2 months out of the ring, so it feels like almost like a new start.
I'll try not to let the nerves get to me. I was speaking to one of my teammates yesterday about nerves and stuff, and he said that he wanted to build nerves for his last fight to try and get him up for it and keep him sharp, but he said that went in the opposite direction. So learning from his mistakes, I'm going to stay calm. It seems like it's just a mental thing. Sparring's been really good. I've been sparring with guys who have just come off of tough fights. I've been sparring with guys that are just preparing for fights as well, so they're already sharp. And I've been handling business in sparring, so should be good to go Saturday night.
We can't wait. A couple of other notables not with us today on the bill. Light heavyweight star Jose Burton, sorry, mind blank. He's on the bill as well, and WBC number 2, WBC silver champion Stephen Smith is also on the bill. Jordan King, local lad, and also Lewis Ritson making his debut. I've heard fantastic things about. So tomorrow the weigh-in will be at 4 o'clock, and that'll be at the Hilton Hotel in Newcastle. Come down, support the lads. I want to give a huge thank you to everybody that supported this show in the North East. It's going to be a cracking night on Saturday and the first of many. Thanks to all the fighters, everyone that's been involved with their teams. Mal Gates, Fighting Chance, of course, Steve Wraith as well, and Danny Cox, been a huge help to us here as we really try and grow boxing in the North East. So we're going to break here, we're going to have a group photo, then we're going to have a head-to-head with the fighters and their opponents, and then everyone's available for photos and also obviously one-on-one media interviews. And roll on tomorrow and roll on Saturday night at the Metro Arena. It's going to be a great night. Thanks for coming out.